Arctic Mercury Time Bomb, Thawing Permafrost Threatens Ecosystems by Satori News. In the vast, cold stretches of the Arctic, a silent threat lies buried within the frozen ground, a store of mercury so substantial that its release could spell disaster for ecosystems and communities residing in the north. Permafrost, the perpetually frozen layer of soil spanning about a quarter of the northern hemisphere's land surface, acts as a gigantic carbon and metal locker, safeguarding against the escape of greenhouse gases and toxic elements like mercury into our atmosphere and food chains. However, a study heralded by top researchers from multiple esteemed institutions, including the University of Southern California and the Delft University of Technology, is emphasizing the urgency to address what they are terming a potential mercury bomb. Published in Environmental Research Letters, the study shines light on the looming crisis as climate change leads to the thawing of permafrost, potentially releasing massive amounts of mercury into the environment. The Arctic, despite its pristine appearance, paradoxically has elevated mercury levels due to airborne depositions from other regions. Once this mercury is harbored by the permafrost, it stays relatively harmless. However, if thawed out, it risks entering the local food web, exposing millions of northern inhabitants to mercury contamination, primarily through dietary intake. The research zeroes in on the dynamics of the mercury sequestration and release in the Alaskan locales of Beaver and Huslia near Fairbanks. Here, scientists focused on the riverbanks and sandbars to assess the levels of mercury trapped in these sediments. The team leveraged satellite data to gauge the pace at which the Yukon River is shifting, thereby eroding more of these potentially toxic banks. Although it appears that the river system redeposits some of the mercury back into sediment, the concern is that the net increase of mercury through ongoing permafrost thaw could exceed this natural reburial. With the implication that millions could be affected by this contamination, understanding the erosion-reburial cycle is now more crucial than ever to form an accurate prediction for the future. As permafrost thaw accelerates over the coming decades, the mercury released could have severe consequences for the environment and public health in these regions. For generations, the Arctic has acted as a safeguard for the planet, but humanity's relentless exploitation of fossil fuels is risking the integrity of this natural defense. The consequences of our actions are catching up, and the onus is on the global community to mitigate this threat before the mercury bomb detonates, irreversibly altering the life and livelihoods of northern populations. Thank you for choosing Satori News.